Hi, I'm Josh here from Hayes Machinery, and today I've got another exciting product video for you. This is one of my most favourite machines that we're selling at the moment, and it's made by Cub Cadet, which is an American brand. This is a new XZ5 Ultima range, which they do, which has 3 sizes, and we got the middle range here. It's powerful, it's manoeuvrable, it's got so much speed, and having the stick steer version on it makes it such a comfortable product to use. If you click onto our website, you can obviously buy it and purchase it through there. If you want to give us a ring, please do. We can talk to you about all the specifications, and also if you like any of our videos, if you click that like button, subscribe on YouTube, then you'll get all the updates that we're sending out to you. Right, so let's jump right into it and talk you through this machine. Now, it will look a lot different to a lot of sort of conventional lawn garden tractors, but basically the principle behind this one is a zero turn. So it's a stick steer version, which you alter the speed and direction of the sticks to change your direction and speed. It makes it very maneuverable, so we've got a nice open garden here which we can go around the trees. Very good if you're doing a lot of straights and turning on the spot and coming back down. Absolutely fantastic, and it's very, very quick. Principle behind the steering, it's in its handbrake position here. When you pull your levers in, it's then ready to drive. So it's in neutral at the moment, and when you push your levers forward, you're going forward, vice versa in reverse. Acts a little bit like a tank in the fact that when you push one forward and one back, that then will change the speed and direction you're turning. So if I was going like this, you're turning left-handed sharp, so you're turning round this way. If you go that way, you're then turning right-handed sharp, which makes it such a breeze to use this machine. Once you've jumped on it and learned how to use the controls, very, very simple. And you'll find a lot of contractors use stick steer machines, and this is what it's aimed towards basically. It is large domestic, homeowner, landowner / semi-commercial machine, so absolutely fantastic bit of kit. Right, as I mentioned, there's 3 different sizes in the XZ5 Ultima range. You've got the 42-inch, 107cm cutting deck machine. You've got the 127, which is this model here, which is a 50-inch deck, and you've got a 137cm cutting deck, which is 54-inch. Now, the small machine has a pressed steel deck, so that basically means it is like a normal garden tractor. The mold has steel pushed over the top, and it's a formed deck, and then that's obviously put on the machine. The 2 larger machines, the 50-inch and the 54-inch, come with fabricated decks. Now, the principle behind fabrication is this thick gauge steel. It's designed to take hammering and for rugged use, and also means because of the gauge of it, it's not going to bend or warp or twist or anything like that, so it's really rugged. The other thing you'll notice with these cutter decks is the anti-scalping wheels, which basically, if you've got rougher areas with cutting or uneven lawn, what it will do is if it's down on a low level, the cutter deck will just basically ride on the ground and it will lift up and down as it needs to go over those high areas, so that protects the deck as well. So the height adjustment on this machine as well is very positive in the fact that you don't have any levers or handles or anything like that, like a normal domestic machine. This is built for heavy use. So what you do, if you've got a foot height adjustment here, which you drop down, and you select your height of cut, and then drop the cutter deck to whatever height you're cutting on, and let your foot off, and it will then put it to that height. Now, between the highest and lowest heights as well, you can actually drop from the lowest to the highest in one move, just like that. It also means if you've got areas which is rough, or if you've got obstacles which you're mowing over the top of, so manhole covers, and you want to just simply drive over the top without having to adjust their height of cut, literally just put your foot down on the pedal. That will then lift up the cutting deck. Once you've moved over the obstacle, drop the cutting deck back down again, and you're ready to carry on mowing. Very few plastics on this machine, and as you can see, everything is steel. It's all box section, tubular, whatever you want to call it. All from the start of the machine, you know, big thick bits of metal on the steering. These are dolly wheels, so what that does, that actually spins around when you're turning the machine. The tubes come all the way back through the frame, so it's one fixed frame, so it's really, really strong. You got 2 LED lights here, which you can turn on and off as well. And coming back through the machine, your controls up here, very, very simple. So this is your choke for cold start, your throttle, your key switch to start the engine, and your PTO switch to engage the blades. So nice and simple. Pull that out to engage the blades, push it back down and the blades stop. And that's all you've got. So a nice simple product, no fancy frills, cuts grass, does a fantastic job and is strong. That's all what we want basically. And the other thing you'll notice with this one, a nice premium seat. So it's a bit like a tractor style seat, like an agricultural tractor. So, you know, nice cushioned seat, leather bound, armrests as well, so you don't get fatigue when you're driving it. That's also on a flipped hinge, which allows you to get to the battery. You can get to all your lubrication points. Fuel tanks underneath the seat, which is a huge fuel tank, so that'll keep you going most of the day, and is yeah, obviously designed for your rugged use. You can also adjust your seat backwards and forwards. There's a little lever just here. So this is how easy it is to slide the seat forward and back. It's just a little tiny handy lever here, push that backwards, and there you go. Moving on back through, like I say, going back to that tubular frame, it's all here around the back of the engine. It's all open, easy to service, maintain the engine, any of the belts or anything like that. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. Right, there's two options on the engines that come with the Ultima range. You've got a 679cc Cub Cadet version on the smaller 42-inch model, and that's a V-twin. And on the larger 50-inch models, 50 and the 54-inch, you've got a 726cc commercial graded Kawasaki engine, which produces a lot of power. As you can see, nestled within this open frame design, so everything's protected, nothing's going to get damaged, and also means because it's open frame, very easy to service, get to all the maintenance points that you might need to get through during the season. So it's easy to get to the air filter. Just open up the cover like so. There's a little butterfly clip here which allows you to slide it out. You can then blow it out with an air compressor, the filter, put it back in and close the hatch. Oil wise, it's just here, so you can check your oil level on the dipstick. And if you do need to change the oil at all, if you are using it quite heavily and you do want to change your oil throughout the season, there's a handy little tiny oil drain port down here, which you just undo the nut on the end and drain the oil out, and you can refill it through the dipstick. It's always handy. These machines are fitted as standard with a tow hitch. This is a clevis type pin, so you can put a trailer on the back if you're towing a small load of logs or garden waste or etc. And yeah, that just clips in, drop the pin down through, and then you can tow away. So on the 50 and the 54-inch models, you get larger, or should we say oversized wheels. This gives better stability, traction and control. Also, if you've got rougher or even sort of softer ground, it will give you better grip and traction. On the 42-inch model, you get a normal standard sort of lawn tractor style wheel. You'll see on this model, you've got a side discharge flap. So predominantly this machine is a mulch side discharge tractor. So mulching, the principle behind it, like James mentioned in the previous video of the Husqvarna Rider, you're basically clipping up the clippings into a smaller material, and then you're putting the nutrients back into the ground. So it's fantastic if you've got areas which has got a lot of moss in it, or you cut the grass regularly. The other thing is having it side discharge. If you have got rough areas, so sort of paddock grass or anything like that, which is slightly longer, you can just blow it out the side, not worry about it, and it clears itself. You haven't got to collect the grass and put it to an unsightly compost heap or anything like that. So nice and simple. And the other big thing with this one is you don't have to switch your blades over. So the blades, which I'll show you in a moment, are an American design which are called gator blades. Now, gator blades have got fins on the back of the lifters, so you'll see this in a minute. But what it does basically keeps the grass in a state of limbo basically. So instead of pushing the grass right to the top of the cutting deck, which you don't want, or pushing it right down to the ground, which you also don't want, it keeps it in the center of the cutting deck and it clips up the grass finer. So when it gets to such a small stage, basically it'll then drop into the ground and you won't see anything left behind. They're fantastic because they're lighter blades, they spin quicker, so give you better propulsion of the grass. And also, you know, you'll find a lot of machinery manufacturers are now adopting that type of blade, and the reason behind it is because they do a good job. So with this one here, the flap is down at the moment inside discharge mode. I have also got the mulch plug fitted in, but basically to take the mulch plug out, you just lift up the flap. There's a little wing nut here on the side which you undo, which I'll put in the pocket, and then all you do is lift up the flap like so and take that out the side. Let that down, it's now ready to side discharge. So cut that long grass and chuck it out the side. If you wanted to mulch, you just do it in reverse, put the flap back in, do the wing nut up, and it's very simple. So it's as easy as that to change between the two options. As it's a hydrostatic machine, as we've done a previous video and showed you where to disengage the hydrostat to be able to push it around the garden if need be. This one's actually got 2 levers, so because it's a twin gearboxed machine, the levers are really simple. They are just here, so you got one there and your other one is just there. That then allows you to push a machine about if you need to. If you want to drive, just push those levers back in and leave them in those positions. So this little handy tool here we just took out the machine. This is to sort of service the deck if you need to clean it out, get to any of the belts or the covers. So just undo that little tiny nut there. We'll undo this little foot plate, which is on a hinge. And then basically what we can do, we can flip that forward like so. You can then drop your cutter deck down on its lowest position and undo the little nuts and bolts around the side of the metal deck, and then slide those covers out, and then you get there if you need to clean any grass, grease any points. So it's really, really simple. Also makes it such a strong bit of kit having that there as well. Right, I'm going to jump on now. You're going to see why this model puts such a smile on my face and why it's been such a popular model for us this year. I'll jump on, I'll quickly adjust the handles to suit myself because obviously different users have already used this machine before us. And then yeah, let's see what this thing does. Right, so I'm just going to show you the controls once again. So very simple to use the operation on this machine. Think of it as each lever operates the independent gearboxes on the back. So a lot of machines will only have one gearbox on it. This one's got 2, so you've got one driving each wheel. When you're sat on it, this one operates the left wheel and that one operates the right wheel. When you let go, as you can see, they come back to neutral. So you're going to be in neutral stop position. And then the further you alter it, the quicker the speed or the direction on each gearbox. So nice and smooth operation. And when you want to put it into park again, lift your levers back out and you're in a park position. So with the handles, depending on your neutral position, you can undo the side here and you set your neutral position. So this feels most comfortable for myself. Some people prefer the handles further forward on the neutral, and that can just be adjusted on the side here. But there we go, let's give it a go. To mention as well, this machine actually mows at 12 kilometers per hour, which is about 3 times the speed of a normal garden tractor. So you can see what I was doing there. I mean, this garden's about an acre. I'll probably mow this in, what, half an hour, something like that. So really speedy. But we're going to show you how to maneuver in around the trees now and how easy it is with the stick steer. So we'll fire her back up and get going. Who thought that mowing could be so easy? So we're mulching now. We're going to take the side discharge flap out and just blow the grass out the side in slightly longer stuff. I mean, really the real test would be putting it in some paddock grass. For the moment we haven't got access to any of that, but it will do that, I can promise you. The amount of demos I've been out with this machine and it still impresses me what it does. So yeah, we'll go over to the other side of the garden, we'll put it through some longer stuff and just show you how it side discharges. go, guys. What do you think? Fantastic bit of kit, isn't it? I absolutely love them. I think they are fantastic. You can view all our products on hayesmachinery.co.uk. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button. That will keep any updates and any new videos we do coming towards you. If you follow us on Instagram as well and like us on Facebook, then obviously again, we'll put all these new things on there and keep them flowing. Thanks once again, and we'll see you in the next one.